Hi Stampers, it's Nancy Novak from StampandShout.com. Welcome to my video. I'm excited to share with you a card that I made. It's with a brand new stamp set, Stampin' Up of course. It's called Brewed For You, and it's coming out in the new annual catalog, which goes live next Tuesday, May 3rd. So I'm giving you a little sneak peek of a card that I made. And I wanted to show it to you ahead of time because I'm going to get this one in the mail. I think it's so cute. Great guide card. And it's so easy to make. Just a little bit of a fun fold. Makes it a little bit more interesting. So let's get started right away. So again, I'm using the Brewed For You stamp set. And it also has a coordinating die set. So it cuts out all those cute little details, the glass and the different kinds of glasses and the big old mug and the little foam. So it's really, really cute. And I'm also using some designer series paper that's called He's the Man. That's also new in the catalog. And I'm using Sahara Sand as my card base. So that's a little bit different. I haven't used this color in a long time, but it coordinates really well with that designer series paper. So Sahara, that's fun to say, Sahara Sand cardstock. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. So that will be my card base. Then I have espresso for the mat, for the inside and for the front. That's 5 1/4 by 4. I'm using Very Vanilla 5 by 3 3/4. So that's the basic card pieces. Plus I have a piece of designer series paper, and that is 5 by 3 3/4. And then I have a few scraps to stamp the beer mug and the little foaming part. So we'll get to that in a second. I will have all this information on my blog, which is www.stampandshout.com. So you can go there, and I will have the little recipe there, the sizes that I used, the colors that I used. I'll have clickable links if you're interested in making any purchases. And I also have a link there to the catalog. So if you don't have it in your hands, you can look that up online. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper, and again that's 5 by 3 3/4, and I am going to cut that at 2 1/2. So this is the 5-inch side, and I'm going to line it up to 2 1/2, and I'm going to cut it down right in the middle there to 1 1/2. So I'm just giving it a little slice right there. Okie dokie. Then I'm going to bring in a little straight edge. You could use cardstock, you can use whatever you want. And basically I want to fold that back. So I'm going to mark where the cut ends and that corner with a little straight edge. Just like that. And I'm just going to give it a little crease. And then I'm going to continue folding that down. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So just line up the end of the cut with the corner of the card. And then just give it a little crease like that, and then just continue folding it down. Okay? And we're going to glue all that down as we continue to build our card. So let's do some of the easy stuff. We'll go ahead and we'll put this mat on our card base. Now I do want to say one more thing. I did cut out 2 circles ahead of time. One is in Sahara Sand and one is in the espresso. I used the circle dies, and again I'll have the measurement of these circles on my blog, but the Sahara Sand is about, the diameter is about 2 1/8. And the espresso is about 2 1/2. One is the scalloped circle, and one is the straight edge circle. But the reason, what I wanted to tell you was, you can go ahead and actually use this mat to cut out the circle. And when you put your card together, you're not going to see that you cut that out. So that's just a little way to save a little bit of your cardstock. If you don't have a scrap, you can go ahead, cut it out of the mat. And this one I actually did have to cut it out of a scrap piece, but just wanted to point that out in case you didn't have a scrap laying around. I like to do that whenever I can, save on my paper. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this mat piece down. Put that right on the front of my card, like that. Then I'm going to take this piece, that is the Designer Series paper, and my 5 by 3 3/4 Very Vanilla. I'm just going to kind of line it up first to see that it does, that one's not bigger than the other, so that, you know, if it was slightly off, you would have some of that Very Vanilla showing. And it looks like it fits pretty well. If it didn't, you know, you can just cut that Very Vanilla down on the top or the left side, but you want to make sure that you have a nice clean edge on this side, because that's where we're going to stamp. And I'm going to do that right now before I glue this all together. Just in case I make a boo-boo, I can flip that over and try again. So I'm going to bring in Early Espresso. And the stamp I'm using here is Oh Ale Yes. Isn't that cute? Great for a guy card. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of hold that there. Go ahead and ink up my stamp. And I want to stamp it right there. And there we go. So that worked out well. Now I can glue it together. So I'll just glue these two pieces. And I'm going to go ahead and glue these flaps down. Just like that. Real simple. And I can go ahead and attach this to the front of my card now. So go ahead and say hi if you're joining me. Leave any comments or questions. And I'm so glad you're here with me. I love making these videos. Okay, now we're going to bring in the two circles that I cut ahead of time. I'm going to glue this one on here. Then I'm going to bring in my dimensionals and pop this one up. So I think we can make do with 3. And this is going to go right here. So I'm just going to kind of look at it from top to bottom, left to right, and put that there. So now we get to do the fun stuff. We get to do a little bit of stamping. So we're going to go ahead and stamp the mug. So I got a little scrap here, and I'm going to do the mug in Early Espresso. And I have another little scrap, and I'm going to do the foam. So this is the foam, and it's not going to fit on this little scrap. These are the little scraps that whenever you cut your paper down to 5 1/4 by 4 or 5 by 3 3/4, you always end up with these strips. And I save them all because they're great. They're great for sentiments and little details that you want to stamp. So I just stamped it like that. And then this lines up, and you cut that out with your little die. And the same thing with the foam, just kind of angle it like that, and it fits perfectly. So I didn't have to stamp it the exact way. I can just angle it and cut it out. So, but first I want to finish this, and I want to bring in the other stamp that fills it in with the beer. And for that, I used crushed curry. And let me show you what I did. I stamped it a few times because I wanted to get a dark ale. So just line it up. Okay, so that's That's what it looked like stamping it once, but I kept stamping it because I wanted it to be darker. So I just kept going over and over until it got to be the color that I liked. Just like that. Okay? And then, like I said, you cut that out with the die, which I already have done. Save a little bit of time here. So I have my beer mug and the foam. So we're going to bring this card back in, and I'm going to pop the beer mug up with dimensionals. And I'm kind of eyeball it because I'm going to put the foam on here too, so I want to kind of center it nicely. Like that. Then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here and slide this like right behind that beer mug. You could put it over the top, it's up to you, but I decided to kind of put it behind that beer mug, kind of shows that beer mug off a little bit more. So I just put a little bit of glue there. And there is the front of our card. Now I did add a couple of fun little dots on here. These are rustic metallic adhesive dots. These are new. So they really have some really cute guy stamps in the new catalog. You're going to love them. And these fun accessories. These little they're rustic looking. They're really cool. Whoops, that one's stuck on me. Let's get it. We don't want to lose it. There we go. Just to add a little bit of interest. Kind of cool looking. Isn't that fun? Then for the inside, we have another fun stamp. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment on the inside in early espresso. And it says, another round for your birthday. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp that. And then we'll finish this up by gluing it all together. I just love this card. So if you're not a subscriber to my YouTube channel, go ahead and click subscribe. Also click that little notification bell. That way whenever I do a video, you'll get a little notification and you can join me live. And you can always go back and rewatch my videos and slow them down and go to the part that you need to see. You know how videos work. But I do appreciate you being here. And I have a lot of fun cards that I'm excited to share with you. I think I'll do Mother's Day next, and then we got some Father's Day cards, more guide cards coming. So make sure you're subscribed. And again, that's my blog, www.stampandshout.com, where I'm going to have more information on these cards. In case you missed anything, or in case I missed telling you, you can always go there and get more information. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed my card. If you did, please give me a thumbs up there. Tell me you liked it. I appreciate you being here so much. See you next time. Don't be shy.